We are about to start. Yes, now Ricardo Cruz from Portugal is sharing his screen. Good afternoon. In Portugal, we are in the end of the afternoon. Yes. Welcome to this presentation. As you know, according to the title, in this webinar, we're talking about the network, social network. Maybe you know about these matters, even though I'm going to try to give my point of view talking about this thematic, social network. I start by presenting myself. I'm Ricardo Cruz, I'm 29 years old, I'm from Braga, in northern Portugal. I have studied social sciences, so I can work as a journalist in the radio, television, also in publicity and many other things. Since 2016, 6 years behind, I'm working on this area, and I've been working in communication agencies. These days, I'm working for Writer Creations, publicity agency. In this kind of we deal with communication in general, videos, photographs, sites, social network, designs for publicities, and so on. Anything relates to communication. Personally, I like sports in general. I like walking in the countryside, playing soccer. I'm working also table tennis. Yes, maybe in the next Olympics Games I will be there. In this presentation, the slides that I'm going to present will talk about the benefits of the social network, but we're going to talk about the positive and the negative aspects of this social networking aspect. We're trying to go to pinpoint the positive points. There are many people from many countries, as the numbers of social network are similar to everywhere. So Twitter network, Zoom, YouTube, Twitters, many other social networks available everywhere. It depends on the ages of people. Some prefer more one or the others. Nowadays, with the pandemic situation, social networks have been more important for the people around the world to connect people. Many people used to have the Facebook, Instagram, but maybe not as much as we do now. We were far away from each from other. Everybody was at home. So the social network helped to increase the connection among people. And nowadays we are more nearby everybody. Yes, maybe for a birthday party or to talk to people, friends that are away from less connection. So also entertainment. I also start to use the TikTok, for instance, many ways to connect. As you can understand, the social network available, there are plenty of them available. They have the ability to make put us nearby our friends through social network, but they can also do the opposite things. They can create the hate, create some. Depends also the ways that we use these social networks applications. Some people interact a lot through the social network, and then they forget that they have a natural life. The personal contact they forget, they put apart because of social network, because it can also be an issue of isolation. Social network also can use to spread some distorted reality. Maybe we show that we are happy, but we are not, like we are going to the beach or something like that. But sometimes it just hide the real feelings that we have. So sometimes in social network, not always we can see the reality of people there. It depends on how people put themselves on these social networks. So I would say that the first point is the social network can favor the communication. I don't know if you remember. I don't know how much in schools they are talking about. We can usually lately there was time where the communication was through smoke, mail post, the telegraph. Neither of these, of course, were not so efficient like these nowadays, like the chat and things like that. So to spread a message nowadays, it's more faster. We are lucky to have this ability to have this means to communication everywhere, so we can connect everywhere around the world. Our message can go instantly to the opposite side of the world. From Portugal, I can talk to Brazil. It will be really fast, even if it is a written text or a video or a photograph. It's a instant of a click. Although this ability to have the communication available, sometimes we are so much linked to these applications. Sometimes people stay there maybe 24 hours a day, sharing this information, that we multiply this information that we receive. Before, it didn't happen like this. And then sometimes we help to spread things that are not really important. Even though the facilities are there, there is sometimes there is a stress that we have to spread as fast as possible everything, so we lose our patience. Maybe it's necessary to cool down a little bit, because it is important that remembering the way that it was done before. Nowadays, I confess that I confess that sometimes to talk to my parents to go to the cinema, for instance, I had to go to them with a, I don't know, smoke a message, but nowadays not like that. Sometimes we don't use properly this means that we have in our hands. Now it is faster the way that we have to communicate, but we don't use properly. On the other side, this means help us to take part something. We can participate in the lives of each other, even though the way differ how we react, because sometimes people don't like to speak out to the others. So the social media network helps us we can also hide our face from this communication, but we can share a post. So the social network have the ability to integrate people in different ways of reaction faster, spreading also different opinions, yes, in different matters. And then we can also represent ourselves, yes, a little, a little too hard, too fast. So in this way, it is possible to spread our way that we're thinking, so we can help each other. On the other hand, we can't forget that the other side of the screen, there are people with whom we are communicating, and it's not an imaginary person. It's not only the computer. On the other side, there is a person that is just like us, have emotions. They can cry, they can smile. So we have to pay attention how to make the sharing, give our contents in a way that we can create something positive with the others with whom we are reacting. Try to do our best not to improve the relation with this other person. It's a means where we can meet the others and create a better relationship through the social network. On the other level, the relationships can be strengthened with the social network. As we said before, they allows us to talk to familiar, to our parents, our family, friends, nearby or far away. Allows me to talk to a friend. When I was in Spain, for instance, I kept the contact with my friend from here. That without network, it would be more difficult if we didn't have this possibility, this means to take this contact. I can talk of a fact that happened to me personally. I was going to a school, but when I changed my standard level, I changed my group, some new friends that I didn't know before. If there were no social network, so I lost the contact with the previous ones. Some years later, when we start to use Facebook, we start to reconnect again. So we are able to create a group of the old friends from the 5th standard. And so we were able to reconnect, to program a dinner together. I was very happy to being able to reconnect with these old friends that I thought that I had lost. So thanks to the social networks that were created in the meantime. But we have to take in consideration that there are some dangers related to that, because we can also meet many people that we don't know, people that maybe don't have good intentions. They can betray us, creating fake profiles. So we have to take care how we communicate and how we receive the communication. Social network also habilitate us to build bridges between points. So building bridges. Yeah. Yes, you can see. Yes, yes. So the social network also allows us to put us nearby to other cultures. I'm from Portugal. I could be talking to someone from Iceland, and then soon after I can be talking to someone someone from Japan or Nigeria. All of that without doing anything more than a click. So these facilities we have, so we can have these bridges, direct bridges through continents without any effort. Only necessary to have a click on a proper application. If you have the knowledge of the language of the other person, or with a common language like English, for instance, this allows us to establish this contact with someone that we don't know, that is far away, so we can know the realities of each other, different habits, different cultures. It enriches us for each one of us, so we can it allows us to have the culture of each other. Social network also promote the identity. When we follow someone in the social network, we are following we're trying to strengthen the way that we have this relationship with someone person in a different way. It also through the social network also I can transmit my personality, my values, the things that I think, how I think. I can share this with others, and then I can also share with the others personalities and profiles. So we in this way we share our intimate sensations. For instance, I can share my love for my team, football team, or something about the environment. I can share the love that I have for the environment, or the ways that I like to share my social work around me. So we can also have help from the others that have the same love for some things. So we get more information and give more information to others also through this social media that are available. Another point is that this social network help us to strengthen our confidence through the likes or comments that we receive from to our profiles. Probably each one of us have already experienced this sensation of more confidence, of success, through the feedback that the others give to us from the things that we share. This feedback also can be the opposite. When, of course, positive feedbacks are nice, but when they are not so much positive, some negative feedbacks that would put us down, it's not so good. So it could also be the opposite effect. So our response to this, it's that we should be able to do to the others the way that we'd like they would do with us, the rule of the golden rule. We have to be pay attention not to be too much connected with this means until a certain medium, because the social network can of course help us, but if we give too much importance to that, we it can may not be so good, because we run away from reality. I believe that real life happens more in the real contact with people and not much on the screen. Of course it happens, but we can't be dependent only on that. The social networks also helps us to explore our creativity, and it gives also we fly farther than we would thought. If we have a mobile, we can have a camera in this mobile. We can make a movie if we feel like. So think dream in a big way, like TikTok, Instagram. They allows us to create some interesting resource with the resources that we have, with the cameras, with the some special effects. If we have a clear idea of what we want, we can easily create our dreams. There are several resources nowadays available that facilitate this dreaming creativity. On the other hand, we have to pay attention to another aspect. Even though we see many original things, we see also many copies of each other, video, photos. TikTok and Instagram, usually we see many repetitions, but the content sometimes are too repeated. Videos, choreographies. It's not really a problem. We can have fun in the same way, but it's funnier when we do different things that are some news for not only for us but for the others. There is Photoshop, for instance, that sometimes people use to manipulate people, images, even stealing some profiles, telling a story that is not real. Yes, there is a danger sometimes that people transmit a different message that is not according to the reality. Social network can promote also education, as they can spread information, podcasts, online conferences, and many other things that can help people to have more information, acquire a culture, learn more of the reality around the world. But we have to pay attention also on the aspect of the fake news that we have been hearing about, and sometimes they spread on internet and then create also many confusions. They give a negative information, so we have to pay attention and try to check all the information that arrive to us to verify if they are really real information or not. We have to try to confirm if this news that we receive are spreading in other sites, to see if the same news have the same content in different sites, in different sources, to check if this is real or not. It's an important step that we should be worried about. Social network also a good platform also to expand our potentials, our qualities, our resources, our skills. Most probably, you know many actors, singers that have been they became popular through the social network. One example is this boy Kavilame. Probably you know him on TikTok or Instagram. Before the pandemic, probably you don't know him. Before pandemic situation, he was working in an industry, and then he lost his job with the pandemic situation. He was too long at home, so he started to do some videos in the network that he had available. Nowadays, he is a very non-influencer, followed in Instagram and TikTok mainly. His target is to spread the good disposition through happiness that he puts in his videos. He makes very funny videos, solving problems, some strange problems. It's difficult to explain what he does really, but he's a good influencer. Probably many of you have seen something about him. So we could say that the social network can help increase our opportunities. We can explore our qualities and our skills. I would say that the social network can be good or bad according to the ways that we use this instrument. We could be also a changing factor. We can build these bridges among people without forgetting that life, the personal contact, is even more important than the reality of the screens in this social network digital world. That was I was about to tell you. Thank you for your attention. Someone is asking if there is possibility of questions. It was interesting what you have been talking about this social network in a positive way. Yeah, it is really, we are in this digital era and we received this for especially for the youth people. I'd like to ask if you know anything about the TikTok network. I don't know much about this. I don't have much knowledge about this, but I'd like to understand in some fields, in some groups, especially on the way, in the danger of the protection of the, there was a debate about this network, that there was the gender of the pedophily network that was hiding behind this TikTok app. Do you know anything about that? I didn't have learned about this news, but on the social network, we always have this danger of having second interests behind these applications, maybe not so positive things. The fact that we have children, kids, youth using this social network, showing their own image, there is this danger that they can be exposed as they are minors. They don't have the knowledge of the consequences, the danger that can be behind of this. So the parenting, the tutors should be very attentive to give the support that they need to understand the risks, to pay attention for this. But we can't stay on that. They have to learn how to be responsible, also how they use the social network, to only to talk to people that they know, don't accept invitations from strangers. Whenever they have any doubts, they confront, to ask the help, to consult the adults, the parenting tutors. There is this danger because many people use this in many places of the world, and also the intentions behind those. We have to be careful to protect ourselves and our kids, our parents, our families, so we don't go inside these mouse traps. I wonder if you have any. We talk all about the kids and the youth, but also the adults are so much involved in this social network. I don't know if you had any idea how to help us to, is there a kind of quiz that would help us to understand how much we are inside a social network, to control our timing using this process, or if we can correct our ways to use these social networks. I don't know if you use Instagram, but Instagram application allows us to, they shows us the graphic of our activity, our participation in this social network. If you'd like to make a experience. So he's asking to Lumi if she has the Instagram, and he's asking to everybody to open the Instagram application. When you have the Instagram opened, he would suggest to do a procedure that helps us to control. So on the bottom side, on the right bottom side, there is the small photograph there. If you click on there, they open another page where on the top, the right top of the screen, there is the three dots. Clicking there, there's another panel, and then there you can find the activity graphics of your utilization. So if you click on there and on your activity, it shows how much time I consumed there, and also the daily the daily average of how much I used and then also shows the day by day average usage. So it varies from people to people. There is also the possibility to put there a memo to establish a limit that helps us to create. You can create a daily limitation. The application helps us to regulate our utilization average. There are other applications also like Facebook that allows us to make a control of our timings. I essentially don't use it because I don't feel I would have too many graphics, because by force of the job I have to be 24 hours a day on that. My graphics wouldn't be so pleasant to read because I depend on this. I work on that. Maybe we could do I don't know. We were supposed to have a game, but it's not going to be able to. She's asking to Margarida Calado if she could share a little bit of her experience. So she delayed a little bit zooming in because there was some linking connection difficulty. Ricardo is going to share on the chat link. It is possibly it's going to be in Portuguese. There are many applications that facilitate in our mobiles how we use the social network in several ways. I didn't open the link, but it says it's an app to help you to control the times that you use in your mobile phone. How to control ourselves, the way that we use these applications and balance with our life, like reading, watching a movie, being with friends and with family, sharing games, doing physical activities. Everything in our life must be balanced. So also social network must be balanced with the rest of our lives. It's an exercise that we have to do little by little. Maybe at the beginning it's more difficult, but we create the habit to create this balance. Maybe using less time in this and more time in that. Yeah, it's a process. Even though sometimes I myself find that I have it not so balanced. Yeah, but it's a thing that we have to keep trying our best to do that, so we can also be able to help each other, to those that are with us in our houses, our friends. We can talk about this with the others. Is there any more other comments or curiosities? Someone's asking, we could ask ourselves, which are the social network that we are more used among us? She's asking, she's wondering who among us use more, which of these applications we use more, whether TikTok or Instagram or Facebook, which are the ones that we use more? Ricardo is answering that he is giving his opinion. Among the youth, yes. Ricardo, for instance, says the most used in the younger generations is the TikTok app. Instagram is the second place, and Twitter. Facebook is disappearing on these ages, but in my age, I'm 29 years old. The more adults, they still use more Facebook among the adults, even though it could be surprising, but Facebook is the most used social network around the world, because Facebook has WhatsApp or Instagram inside, So it is the mother of all the other social networks, more common. They have functionalities that the others don't have. For instance, to make publicities on the social network, Facebook has a platform that allows you to do that. In my case, that I work on social network, I use Facebook because it allows me to book the communication that I have on Instagram for my clients. Through Facebook, I can do the booking with with my clients. I can do that. I can't do that in any others. So Facebook have some other functionalities that help us, that work in the social network, like my case. It facilitates my work. Today I have a publication for a client that will be delivered on 6:30. If I'm not able to book this, I'd have to do it personally on that time, exactly there. I couldn't do that beforehand. So Facebook allows me to do this beforehand. It facilitates my work in that case. Yeah, it depends on the case to case. Youth, teenagers usually go more on other applications. So the question was about the reality of we just exist if you are inside a social network. If someone make posts, photographs, a better photograph or something like that. So to many people, if you're not in a social network, it's like we don't exist. We can't talk to other people. It's like we are out of the reality. We are not. We don't have access to many videos, some fun things that are circulating on the social network. So this is an idea that maybe we could put down this idea because it's not a matter of being all the time connected. It looks like to be the fashion nowadays that we have to be on a social network, everybody. In a certain way, we are part of the reality through this, but also if we give more importance to other things, especially the personal contact, for instance, many times happen to me. For instance, when I'm with a friend in a coffee shop, everybody's with a mobile on their hands. It's better to be there with the friends, talking to each other directly, not with the mobile on our hand. If you prefer our mobile on our hands, then I can stay home. This is a behavior, very natural behavior nowadays, but we need to be more careful, more conscious that the personal relationships are more important than this equipment help the communication. At least it's my personal opinion. When I am with someone, I put my mobile apart on my pocket and use it only when it's necessary. If you would like to show something, okay, you can show, but not stay with it all the time in my hand when I have someone around me. Yes, we have to balance the importance of the how much we have our mobile on our hand and the importance that we give to the person that is around us. We show to this person how much that person is important for me more than my mobile. Maybe it's a too much bigger dream, but I think this is important. Yeah, each one of us can be of example to do this kind of experience of balance this use. There's another friend of mine that doesn't use social network. He it looks like he is not part of the reality, but I admire this person that he is able to go against the flow and do something different of the others. Because of the kind of job that I do, I'd like to be less connected with the social network. Sometimes I would like to really be disconnect totally, but because of my job, I can do. So I envy those people that don't depend on the social network. As much as possible, there will be people with this behavior of going away from the social network, of the overuse of the social network. It would be interesting so that these things don't control our lives. It's important to have this thing in our mind to give importance to this balance. It depends on each one of us to give this important step.